PhilHealth, the Supreme Court has released a temporary restraining order or TRO against the transferring of PhilHealth's unused 10 billion pesos fund to the National Treasury. But what will happen to the funds that were already returned to the government before the TRO? Here's the report.
The controversial transferring of untapped PhilHealth funds to the National Treasury will be paused for a while. That is after the Supreme Court released a temporary restraining order, or TRO, preventing the state-run health insurer to return almost 10 billion pesos of its funds to the government. The TRO is effective immediately.
The TRO is just really to prevent the further transfer of more funds from PhilHealth to the National Treasury.
So far, PhilHealth has already returned 60 billion pesos of its unused funds. The Supreme Court unbanked did not tackle transferred funds. It can be up for debate in the scheduled session of oral arguments on January 14, 2025. The petitioners expressed satisfaction with the TRO. Neri Colmenares said, "This is an achievement for the beneficiaries who are depending on PhilHealth for health services." Former Associate Justice Antonio Carpio also expressed hope that the executive branch will return all the transferred funds back to PhilHealth. PhilHealth respected the Supreme Court's decision. It also assured the public that it will continue its health and financial services.
Now let's get more information about this report.
We have PhilHealth spokesperson Dr. Israel Pargas on the line. Good morning, spokes. How are you? Thank you for joining us on Brunch.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. And of course, all those who are watching today, good morning.
Hey, Doc Ish.
Okay, Doc Ish, let's get right to it, Doc Ish. TRO ang pag-usapan natin. What is the next step of PhilHealth regarding this TRO?
Well, we fully respect the decision of the court. And of course, we shall abide by its decision. So we are not to transfer the remaining amount of around 29.88 billion to the National Treasury anymore. And of course, because the case is still with the Supreme Court and there will be oral argument that is scheduled this January, then we shall also be participating if we are called.
Yes, Dr. I'd like to clarify something na kasi ang daming very contentious issue yung word unused funds or excess funds. Ano po ang definition ng unused or excess funds with regards sa PhilHealth? Because madami nagsasabi the law only specifies daw na hindi pwede i-transfer yung unused funds pag nanggagaling sa operational expense. But rather, these funds daw are from other incomes ng PhilHealth. Is that correct, Doc Ish?
Well, Jack and Angela, sorry because I will refrain from responding to any technical issues with regard to this case because again, this is still with the court and for the court to decide.
We understand that, Doc.
Okay. Sige po. Pero ano po bang just in case po, let's say for example, pumanig po doon sa mga nagpetisyon yung decision ng Supreme Court, is there a chance na magkaroon po ng mga expansion pa itong kung yung mga gagamitin na ibinalik na fund gagamitin sa expansion pa ng members' benefits?
Yes, we are fully committed to our mandate of providing more financial protection, especially for during health risk, and of course in improving the efficiency of our operations. Tuloy-tuloy naman po ang ating nakaplano na mga expansion and benefit development and improvement in our operation.
Oo, Doc Ish, alam na naman natin, ang daming affected yung mga from the severe tropical storm Christine and other storms. Meron po plano ba ang PhilHealth in extending help sa mga nangangailangan sa kanila?
Well, lahat naman po ng pagkakasakit, especially those which are brought about by the typhoon, is of course covered by PhilHealth. And we are also looking into providing help, especially to those health facilities which have been damaged or destroyed by the current typhoon. And so we are looking also into extending the period of filing. But we are still studying that currently, but we are considering.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, dun po sa mga issue pa rin po tungkol dito sa PhilHealth Fund, isa po sa mga sinasabi ng mga petitioners and also mga kababayan natin na kulang daw yung mga benepisyo or packages, health packages para sa mga indigents, sa mga PWD, senior citizens. Meron po ba tayong plano on that?
Well, actually, Angela, even before the issue on 89.9 billion came out,
Yeah.
PhilHealth started expanding its benefit packages. Remember, in 2023, we already expanded the number one case, which is the pneumonia.
Yes.
We expanded it from 32,000 to 90,000 as we cover it today. We expanded our coverage for stroke. And in the first quarter of 2024, we expanded the case rate to 30% across the board. And then we expanded the breast cancer now from 100,000 to 1.4 million. And continuously, we have been increasing the hemodialysis, which we have increased twice already the amount.
Yes.
And soon before this October end, we are going to come out with our increased benefit package for severe dengue and our COVID-19 benefits. And before the year end, we are still coming out with our increased benefits on cataract, on peritoneal dialysis, and we are looking into another round of 30 to 50% increase in our case rates across the board.
Doc, you mentioned breast cancer. Now, how about ano po ang plano ng PhilHealth with regards to other cancers like lung cancer, which is one of the leading causes of deaths among male men in the Philippines, tsaka the use of immunotherapy drugs aside from chemo?
Yes. Right. We are also planning, and we are actually in the development process now of expanding our benefits for chemotherapy for lung, liver, ovary, prostate, and cervical cancer, which we hope to finish before the year end. We are also expanding our Z-benefit package or catastrophic care package for cancers, again, for lung, liver, prostate, and for cervical, and even for kidney transplantation.
Okay.
Actually, part of our increase in the breast cancer is to expand the therapy, not just on chemotherapy, but also on targeted hormonal therapy.
Yes.
So we are also expanding even the treatment which is being covered by PhilHealth right now.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Expansion pa rin po pag-usapan natin kasi sabi niyo po hindi pa po kayo pwede magsalita regarding sa fund transfer, no, Doc Ish? Eh, syempre, pulso,
Yes.
pulso po ng masa dahil yung ibang mga nakakausap po natin, mga na-ospital, ang mga bill po nila sa ospital would amount to 200, 300,000 and then they would end up getting like 20, 30,000 from PhilHealth. Meron po ba tayong mga pagbabago o gagawin na plano na pagbabago sa computation para po mas mapalawak yung makukuha ng mga members?
Well, again, gaya nung nabanggit ko, nung February of 2024, we expanded already our case rate to across the board increase of 30,000, of 30%, sorry. And then, before the year end, we are again planning to have another round of 30 to 50% increase in our case rates. And again, just like as I have said, in some of the more common diseases, which are causes of the admission of our members or our patients, we have increased those. Like, for example, pneumonia, we increased that from 32,000 to 90,000. For the stroke, we increased that from 28,000 to 76,000. And this time, the dengue will be increased from 16,000 to 47,000. So we are actually increasing all our packages. And of course, as part of the Universal Healthcare Act, if the patient opts to be admitted in a basic or ward accommodation, especially in government facilities, then there is no co-pay already. Everything is shouldered by PhilHealth, and there is no co-pay. But of course, if the patient opts to be admitted in a expensive private hospital with amenities, then of course they are also willing to pay for those amenities. But for the minimum standards of care, PhilHealth is already covering those.
Oo. Lastly po, Doc Ish, yung update po natin dun sa backlog ng payment sa mga hospital. Kasi yan din po isa sa mga ini-issue po ngayon ng mga hospital eh.
But technically, actually, yung pong ating backlog has been reduced before. Ang issue natin is mga around 20 or 10 billion pesos. Pero because of our efforts to reconcile with the hospitals, especially the private hospitals, we already have decreased this to around 4 billion. But we are still continuing to process and improve on our payment mechanism para po maging updated na tayo sa kanilang mga claims. And hopefully, this will translate to decrease in whatever sinasabi na utang ng PhilHealth sa kanila. Actually po, when we reconciled our data with them, ang karamihan sa hinahanap nila na pera ay yung pong mga claims na na-deny or naka-appeal sa amin ngayon or mga claims na ibinalik namin kasi may mga kakulangan sa kanilang dokumento.
Okay.
So, but with our efficiencies, bumababa na rin po yung mga sinasabi nilang pagkakautang namin.
Alright, on that note, maraming salamat po sa inyo, PhilHealth spokesperson, Dr. Israel Pargas.
Thank you very much and good morning.